Coming up on Lee's Corner today, we got a cop that suggested that our Congresswoman Ortiz be shot. We got a white guy that punched a black dude at a pool with his children, got more than he bargained for. And we got a 10-year-old black kid who got charged with a misdemeanor crime for playing dodgeball. That and more with the school shootings next on Lee's Corner. And welcome to another Lee's Corner. Okay, people, we got a lot to talk about today, and I'm gonna try to just make this as usual as quick as I can. But first, let me get out of the way my little warning. I'm gonna tell a lot of people this time. There's a lot of things been going on in the United States, and to people like William, Mr. Cloninger, and other certain white people that don't like what I say, you're really not going to like this. Just going to tell you. There's a lot of white people that's not going to like me after this broadcast. Now, going into my warning, my little advisory label is as it's always been. White people. For all the white nationalists and you know, white hate groups or white people that are complicit with racism or complicit with the way that black people are being treated in this country, you're not gonna like what I have to say today. And if you represent one of those groups, you might want to tune out now. Now, for all you other white people that are not complicit and are down for the struggle and understand what I'm about to say is about, I would say, is a help to white people, then feel free to stay and listen to Lee's Corner, because we're about to educate today and we're about to tell y'all some truth. And I'm just gonna hope you get to it. Once again, everybody also, please do not bring your children and put them in front of the screen to watch me, okay? Because I had somebody did that before. I'm like, you know me, why would you do that? Sometimes I get passionate, words are said. So please don't put your kids up here. But like I said, this is Lee's Corner. This is where we get a black perspective, not a left black perspective, not a right black perspective, but a black perspective. I am not Tariq Akbar Shabazz Jr. I am not Dr. Umar. But we are going to talk about truth. So that being said, if you're not part of one of these hate groups or angry white folks or complicit with the racial ignorance that's going on today, feel free to listen, brothers and sisters. We all won today. Now, as I go forward, we're going to hit some shit up today. I'm going to go through this quickly because I want to get to my major point of the day, which is these three mass murderers just killing everybody in sight. One was in Ohio. One was in, I think, New Mexico. And I forgot what the other one was. But bottom line is, 3 white dudes that once again had a bunch of guns and went crazy. Now, I want to bring you some perspective, so we're gonna go over some things, some stories, that headlines that you guys might have seen. A cop suggested that Congresswoman Ortiz be shot. He put this on his social media page. Now, I find this very interesting. A cop suggested it on his social media page. He was fired, but the fact that cops are engaging in getting people killed. Now you got to realize now, this is funny to me. Cops are inciting killing congresswomen of color, black women, Puerto Rican women. I hate that word of color. We're all just one. Fuck that. Everybody want to divide themselves up. Puerto Ricans, blacks, Jamaicans. We all black folks. We all black. Everybody want to dice each other up. We all black folks. I hate color. We all black folks. So when I say black, for all y'all Puerto Ricans and Mexicans and everybody out there, we all the same thing. I love all y'all the same. We all the same. So I'm going to say black. Y'all came from Africa. That's where y'all came from. So that being said, let me move forward. So basically, you got the cops basically out here inciting hate crimes. And he was fired. Now, it's amazing that he can get fired for saying that she needs to be shot, but he can't be fired for beating the hell out of a black guy or damn near killing him because he did it according to policy. Like I said before, most people don't seem to realize that the reason why cops get away with most of this stuff is because of their policies. And we need to change the laws to stop these policies from being relevant. That's the problem that we face right now, because everything is at a policeman's discretion. If he feels threatened, he has the right to shoot. See, that shouldn't be, because there are different biases, especially on the police department. If you white and you feel threatened, which is mostly by black people, which you've been taught to be threatened by, they could be talking to you like I'm talking to you right now, but my body language screams, I'm jumping at you, I'm raging at you, I'm angry at you. Well, when a white person is jumping in your face, raging at you, cursing you out, and you still don't feel him a threat. He could tear up your parking tickets and drive off. He's still not considered a threat. Where I can ask the police officer, sir, what did I do? What was going on? Shut up! Blah, blah, blah. It goes completely off the rails in 20 seconds. Now, I think a lot of people forget that we pay the police their salary. They're beholden to us. Now, according to, from what I understand, if y'all know more, let me know. But from what I found out, the Constitution states that these police officers only have to protect property, not people. Property, not people. Any lawyers out there want to confirm or deny? Let me know, please. But that's what I educated myself on. So the police are inciting hatred towards people of color. These are the same people that are policing you every day. These are the same people supposed to keep you home safe from criminals and everything else, but they're telling you which side they're on every day. And no one seems to get upset. I ain't heard a bunch of white people on YouTube, Facebook, or anything else talking about this or angry in droves. And like I said before, any white person that's on Facebook, that's in this country, that is quiet about racial injustice, you are complicit with it. That means you are the enemy too. You are just as bad if you don't speak out against it. The fact that you quiet and you want to play I'm not in this for whatever reason, you are complicit. Because when it comes to your children and them getting hooked on opioids, you want everybody to cry. You don't have a problem pasting something on your Facebook page, Save Our Children. You have a problem saving fucking animals. But when it comes to black folks, y'all niggas should have kept your mouth shut. And I'm not going to comment on that. Too controversial. That means your ass is complicit. And that's a problem with me. I have an issue with that. So I respect all the white people that have come out and spoke out against racial injustice. The ones that sit there in silence, that speaks volumes on your character and who you are. That's just like back in the day when you had slavery or Jim Crow. When you saw something going down, when you saw a black person getting hung, when you saw a black person getting picked on by another white person and you did nothing, you were complicit. I don't want to get involved. It's not my problem. But if it was your child, you would want our black asses to do something about it. Okay, moving on. White guy at a pool punches a black dude that's at a pool with his children. Now he goes up to him, no other reason, thought speaking racial slurs to the black man. Punched the black man in the face. Black man punched him back. He passed out. White dude left, came back with a bat. Black dude subdued him with a chair, punched him in the face, knocked him out again. Cops came, took the white man in jail for aggravated assault. Do you see the pattern? Right. Now, some people will say that this is new stuff that's happening, but it's not new. Black people have been hassled, harassed by white people for centuries. This is going on 400 years now. It's just that now that we have the ability to catch these things on tape, it's not just hearsay from back in the day. It's not slavery no more. It's not Jim Crow. It's not this, that, the other. We're seeing it in real time. You can't turn your head from it. You can't deny it. And a lot of white people sticking their heads in the sand, and they ought to be fucking ashamed. A 10-year-old black kid in Michigan. I thought the game was dodgeball. It wasn't. They were doing something like throwing balls up in the air, and whatever happened, happened. A white kid was playing and got hit with the ball. Said the 10-year-old hit him with the ball. Supposedly the 10-year-old kid has a condition, and he got a concussion from the black kid hitting him in the head with the ball. Now, we played dodgeball. We played all kind of games in school. You got hit with the ball. You got hit with the ball. The boy throwing the ball was black, of course, and the white boy was a white boy, of course. Where his mother pressed charge. But this is not the first time this happened. He's hit my son before with the ball. Now the black dude's mother was like, "Well, if this is the case and my son has hit your son before with the ball, why is this my first time hearing about it?" Now, of course, Michigan was like, oh, he could press charges for, and I would think simple assault. They said aggravated assault. See how they steeped those charges up for black people? Simple assault would have been the better, thing. They're saying aggravated assault. Now, Michigan is doing the same thing Mississippi did. Did you hear about Mississippi when the black lady, they said, picked a fight with another lady? She was pregnant. The lady that picked the fight, supposedly, was pregnant. Another lady pulled out a gun and shot her in the stomach. Now, Mississippi said, well, we're going to charge the pregnant lady who got shot for endangering her child. Really? Of course they dropped the charges. But Mississippi wanted to know, hey, we can do that. Same thing right here with Michigan. They wanted to let you know we could charge him, but of course we're going to drop the charges. Why'd you charge him in the first place? Because this is systematic racism proving that we got you niggas any way we want to. See, systematic racism is still there because systematic means it's like the Matrix. It's built into the system. I hate when people talk about the system is broken. The criminal justice system is broken. The whole system is broken. The system is not broken. These white people created the system this way to work for them. You have to remember, you were enslaved. No one wanted you free. They didn't believe that you were going to become free. So when you became free, there was nothing for you. That was like, what do we do with these niggas now? They don't know what to do. They're like, what the fuck? So they stayed to what they knew. Killing, harassing, torturing, terrorizing black people. And it's still going on today. Actually, my friend Will said, keep preaching that hate, Lee. Hate. And I love that because white people like Will is so funny. I knew his father, he was a coach. And he was a great guy. I never had a problem with him. He was a cool guy. My brother knew his dad. Real cool guy. But every time I speak to help black people or to alert folks what's going on with white folks, white people like Will say, I'm speaking hate. I'm like, of course. Because every time black people stick their head up and say, no, we're not taking this no more. What you're doing is wrong. Once we point out the racism and say it's wrong, then we're evil. We're speaking hate. This goes back to what my old partner, Big Eric, said to me before. If white people can't beat you, they try to change places with you. Now we're the victims. Oh God, we're the victims. So we're the victim of the black person's imagination. Yeah. See, now they're the victims. No, racism. Okay, you outnumber us 2-1, but it's racism. Racism implies that you have power over my life. I have no power over no white person's life. Especially now when you got people who call the cops on you for anything. He's in my neighborhood. I see him sleeping in his car. I see him in Walmart. He has a toy rifle on his shoulder. When they come there and shoot you or apprehend you, that shows they have power. When black folks call cops, they want to talk to the person that called. Well, what happened? Well, I can't. No, they don't go up to the person. They want to talk to the person that called 911. Because we want to make sure you had a fake claim, because we don't see this white person doing this type of stuff. I just don't understand. So you got to be very careful with white people trying to invert the situation. I'm going to trade places with black people. Just like these white kids now that's shooting up these schools, that's shooting up white folks and black folks and everything else. What do they say now? Well, they're from a broken home. Well, you didn't give a fuck when black people from a broken home. Matter of fact, you didn't give a fuck. When it was black folks doing stuff and they was from a broken home, you didn't care. Well, their daddy should have been there. Well, you put my daddy in jail, motherfucker. Now you're going to trade places. Well, come on. They have broken homes. They're from bad situations. They this, they that, and the other. And you got these sympathetic old-ass white male judges that identify with the white boy because they see themselves in them. We're not seen as human to white people. We're not. To these type of white people, we're not seen as human. That's why this continuous police murders and torture continue to happen. And they get off. They don't see you as a person. If all you white people out here, white women out here raising mixed children and think you ain't got to be down for the fight and you're not saying anything on Facebook or nothing like that because you think you want to see in your pseudo happy quasi existence life, it's not going to happen. Your son going to be on the front lines just like my son, just like another black kid, just like this, that, and the other. Your son is just as threatened. Don't wait for something to happen to your son and daughter to try to come in then. No. Don't try that shit then. See, everybody want to try to pull themselves outside. Well, my son won't be the case. I'll teach him how to do this. I'll teach him how to do that. Yeah, do that shit if you want to. See what happens. It's going to be the black folks that back you. So be very careful how you proceed. Another quick thing before I jump into my real story here. I'm getting tired of hearing white people say, I had nothing to do with slavery. No one alive had anything to do with slavery. And that's just a lie. Let's talk about law. When cops go fishing, they can go fishing like when they pull you over for no reason. Won't even give you a reason. Let me see your ID. Oh, you got warrants. Oh, your tag is wrong. They went fishing. They try to interpret the laws they see fit. So I got a law for white people who say, hey, I didn't have to do with slavery. My parents didn't have to do with slavery. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, we're going to use some law on you. All white people, you are an accessory after the fact. Which means you're all guilty. You're an accessory after the fact. Look up the law and get at me. That means when a crime has been committed, and I'm the criminal, and I speak to anyone after about so crime or said crime, whoever I speak to about this crime is an accessory after the fact. And we happen to know that all white people spoke about the hangings, the lynchings, the murderings, the systematic racism, the laws built in to our country and government to make sure that black and brown people didn't have anything, to make sure they were marginalized, to make sure that if they ever came up to a judge, they get the most maximum sentences, to make sure they had to stay over here where we keep our eyes on them. They can only live here. That would make you all guilty, an accessory after the fact. And that is a fact. So the next time you think about saying, well, I didn't have nothing to do with it, slavery was this, slavery was that, my grandparents and all them, and nobody's alive that could do that, all the stuff that you try to alleviate your conscience from, you are an accessory after the fact. Now, I say all of this to simply say, number one, why are white people so surprised to see other white people and how racist they are? This is nothing new. This has been going on for centuries. Have you truly had your head in the sand for this long, that you did not know racism was going around? And you got these kids. Why do you think your kids are shooting up black people right now? Why do you think it is? You can call it mental illness all you want to. Why do you think this is happening? This is happening because you put so much hate in the world that is coming back for you tenfold. From slavery to Jim Crow to systematic government racism, to you not speaking out about what is wrong. You are a part of the problem. You put all this hatred and vitriol into your kids, into everybody. And even if you didn't do it personally, you allowed the world to keep doing it. How often do you talk to your kids and tell them what's wrong and right? How many times do you talk to your kids and tell them that it's okay to be friends with black people? Bring them over to the house, hang out. How many times do you teach them that we're equal? How many times do you tell them about your ancestry and the fuck ups that they did? How wrong they were, how wrong they are. How the system still works on behalf of only white people. How many conversations have you had? And I'm tired of people blaming Donald Trump. People kill me to be Donald Trump. How should I put this? Everybody wants to imbue Donald Trump right now. Everybody wants to make it like, you know, Trump is the Antichrist, Trump is this, Trump is that. Look, Trump is the manifestation of the evil that white people have put into the world. That's what Trump is. He's not the devil incarnate. He is the manifestation of all the evil that we have put into this world. Well, let me rephrase, not we, white people have put into this world. That's what Donald Trump represents. He's not the Antichrist, he's not the devil. He saw a shot and he took it. He's using all the stuff that white people use to keep black folks away. And even if you ain't a so-called racist, you just don't want black folks near you. Mexicans near you. See, you got to realize, white people have painted this picture that somehow we all lived in harmony and everything was fine. Until one day, black people started complaining about how they were treated. And we never understood why. See, it's like every generation in America, you get more black people, more brown people, and white folks think they're losing their innocence. I remember days when black folks was way down there, we never had to see him, and I was swinging on the porch drinking country time, and my kids was running off through the wilderness and down through the gorge and through the high grass and having fun, and we didn't have no black people in sight. This is a lie that they told themselves to hide from the darkness that they put in this country. The massive hangings, murders, decimation of complete black towns because white people were angry of the prosperous nature of black people were doing on our own, having our own towns. They were so jealous, so angry, they went and burned these things to the ground under the guise of lies of a black man said hello to a white woman or something of that nature. But yet, we're the evil ones. We're the bad guys. Show me in American history where we went and burned down a whole white village, a whole white neighborhood. Show me where we've hung white people by trees in droves. Show me where we've done drive-bys. Show me where we've had our black policemen taking your young white kids and beating the fuck out of them on national TV. Shooting them 17, 25 times. But we're the bad guys. See, America has been spinning this tale of lies for so long that you even have white liberals now who look and say, oh my God, what happened? What brought us to this? Really? What brought us to this? Are you serious? Why are you forgetting so much? Y'all just like love telling these tales of greatness and how America's a melting pot and we all get along. Why are you lying? And then you get black senators and congressmen who lie about the same thing. You know better. But they say, hey, I can't get hired or I can't keep my job if I tell American people that, America is a cesspool of hatred towards black people and Mexicans. I can't keep my job with that. The white people ain't gonna like it. So I won't get, because they don't want to hear of themselves. I'll say this again. White privilege is what's stopping white people from seeing why they're the problem. Because they're so busy doing this, they can't do this. And that's the problem with your kids. Your white privilege is blocking you from seeing what's fucking you up, which is you. Your own white privilege, your own arrogance, your own thoughts of you being better than everybody else. And it's sad because until you work that problem, you're not going to stop school shootings. Until you work that problem, you're not going to stop white men from going up here shooting 120 people at a festival. You got to work the problem. But you can't work the problem because you can't see past your own privilege. What's my lady said? What's my lady said? I gotta find her. Hold on 1 second. Where's she at? I know she in here. Oh, there she go. Jane Elliott. Y'all need to look up Jane Elliott. The first white person to expose white people. Jane Elliott, a white woman, said all white people are racist. All. Jane Elliott, not me. Jane Elliott. All white people are racist. She said, if you're not, you ain't been paying attention. Because this country is racist. And it's done nothing but taught you that from the very beginning. You know what black people were taught? Black people have been taught since the very beginning that we were slaves. That's where our life began. All black people, we were slaves. Lincoln saved us and allowed us to live amongst you. Pretty much as guests. We had to find out that we built your country under duress. That we've had most of the inventions, that we've had tons of discoveries that, of course, we weren't able to get the patents for because we were black. What you don't realize until you grow up and start studying is that we didn't come from slavery. We came from Africa, where we were kings and queens. We weren't stolen as slaves. We were stolen as people and became slaves for white people who didn't want to do their own work. The same white people who claim that Mexicans and blacks are lazy. You know, the ones that want to sit on welfare. But still, you grab slaves to do the work you should have been doing. Built your entire country for you free of charge. Actually, it wasn't free of charge because, you know, the chattel slavery, you know, white men raping black men to try to break them, cutting the bellies out of, cutting the pregnant women's stomach open, watching the babies drop to the floor, stomping on them. These are black women I'm talking about. That white men would do that too. Yeah, we treated like cattle, animals. That's what they did. And it ain't just slavery. Jim Crow, different water fountains, systematic racism, still hangings, lynchings. Now they always like to put a number on that. We only have so many. No, that's only lynchings that's been reported. But like I said, you can't necessarily trust all the necessary reports because you got to realize these are reported by white people. We didn't have no black papers back then reporting everything. These are reported by white people, so they could say it's 7 lynchings. But black folks from that time frame, they know it was more. You burned down entire towns, killed hundreds of thousands of people, millions. When you brought slavery in here, millions. The Jews say they had 6 million. We got 6 million and more. I mean, if you look at the Civil Rights Bill, black folks carried everybody on their back. I mean, everything got on the Civil Rights Bill. White women, they should be thanking us because of the Civil Rights Bill. It affected them and helped them more than anybody. White women. Affirmative action. Because businesses, being racist as they are, instead of hiring the black people they were supposed to hire, or the Mexicans, or the whoever, they said, okay, what we'll do, we'll hire 98% women and 1% black. That's how they solved that problem. We also put in legislation for wheelchair ramps, all the people, so all the people that's handicapped, black folks, thank us for that too. We did that. We did all that. Jews, we helped you too through the Civil Rights Bill. Where's our help at? Right. Okay. But it's just one of those situations that really grabbed me because, you know, we're still here at this point where people don't know how these mass shootings occur. You can't put this much evil and hate into the world and expect it not to come back to you. And then cry when it does. I feel sorry for the black and brown people. I have a message for black and brown people. Y'all need to, they talking about book bags for kids bulletproof. Now, last I checked in California, it was against the law to have a bulletproof vest. But now kids can have bulletproof book bags? Okay, so black folks, y'all need to go and get y'all bulletproof jackets. Get y'all stuff ready, because these white kids are getting crazy. Or are crazy. So we need to be ready and teach our kids about readiness. Hell, be the NRA. We should set a record for gun registration so we can go out here and hold our shit and keep our shit ready. Black and brown people, that's what we need to do. We need to set a record. Go out here and get legal guns and have them ready. So when these white folks do decide to come to our parties or do decide to come to our situations, we will be ready to protect ourselves. Call that any way you want to call it. I find it funny too that when you say Nazi in this country, everybody's ears perk up. Nazis. But when you say KKK or white supremacists, they're not really that big of a deal. I mean, we had the KKK, but you say Nazi, everybody Nazis, as if the shit happened here. That's what killed me. It's like Nazi is the biggest thing in the world, and I'm like, no, it's not. Well, they killed 6 million Jews. Well, America has killed over 6 million black people and counting. Can we get the same? Can we please? And I believe that happened over there in Germany, not here in America. Why you taking on someone else's pain? Why? Because those Jewish people who say they're Jews, but whatever, they're actually Ashkenazi, which means they're white folks. They're the cousin to the white American, to the European American, because they're from Europe too. That's why they're okay with that. You know, all these black and brown countries, land of the Hebrews, that have the culture and religion of Judaism, those Hebrews, those are what your president called shithole countries. See, the original man is a shithole country. Places where kings and queens were birthed from is shithole countries. And if it is a shithole country, according to him, it's because America and other countries have done what they do best, and they go over there to the shithole countries and rape them. go in, make fucked up deals, try to take all their minerals and everything out of their country. And then we sit back and call them shithole countries. But you know, that's how it goes. You know, nobody seemed to care about the crack epidemic, but everybody cared when opioids hit. All of a sudden we make a new legislation. Don't criminalize people on opioid abuse. Don't criminalize them, but we criminalized everybody that was on crack. Not sellers, not just sellers, but people using, people who were drug users were put in jail. And it's so funny that they paint this picture to you guys that are nothing but black crack dealers and this, that, and the other, but they never paint the bigger picture of who's bringing this shit in. How many black people you know with airplanes? How many black people that you know own their own boats? But they want to do that because they want to give somebody white to hate. And what better than a black person? We've always been the bane of white people's existence. So they continue to paint the picture that black people are your enemy. And you fall for a hook, line, and sinker every single time. And it's sad. I saw a news story the other day saying America under siege. It's not America under siege. It's black people under siege. And it's not a new development. It's not breaking news. It's black people under siege. It's not America. Since when have we been Americans? If we were Americans, we'd get the rights and privileges that every American has. If we were American, why does our right to vote have to come up to be voted on every couple of years? Seriously? That's not an American. All right, people. That was my thought-provoking and moving what would I even call it tonight? My thoughts. That's gonna be it for tonight, guys. Catch me again for another thought-provoking of Lee's Corner, and we'll see you again.